My dog is like teetering on this ledge outside, so I'm just watching to make sure he doesn't roll over because he's an old man. Hello, my name is Hannah. If you're new to my channel, I post about all things fashion, beauty, and lifestyle related that are also vegan and cruelty free. So definitely stick around. I do vlogs from time to time and it's a good time over here. Today, as you can see by the title of the video, I'm going to be doing a second trimester recap. I am now in my third trimester, so I feel like I have a lot to share about my second trimester. If you haven't watched my first trimester recap, definitely go watch that and you can kind of see the progression of my pregnancy and how each trimester is different because they're all wildly different, at least for me. That won't be the case for everybody, of course, but I do want to share it just because, like I said in the last video, I found these videos to be super helpful while pregnant. So of course, I will not be offended if you are not pregnant or thinking about becoming pregnant. I did not watch these videos before, so no offense taken if you do not find it helpful. I also want to talk about some of my favorite products I've been using throughout my pregnancy because I feel like there's some good ones where you need to know about them. So I talked about my first trimester, obviously, in that video. To sum that up, if you don't feel like going to watch it, I had hardly any symptoms and then I had a lot of nauseousness and headaches pretty much throughout the whole first trimester. Basically felt like I was hungover, like slightly hungover, for weeks at a time, every single day. Towards the end of my first trimester, I started to feel like, is this ever gonna end? Am I ever gonna feel like myself again? It was a lot. That continued a little bit into the second trimester where I still kind of had headaches and like the occasional nauseousness, but it slowly started to get better. And I would say around like 16, 17 weeks was when I felt my absolute best. That was when I was like, oh my gosh, it is what they talk about. It is all of the stereotypical, like where the light switch flips and you're just in this glorious world of the second trimester. I had the most amazing second trimester, and this is not going to be everybody's experience. I am well aware of that, and I am so grateful to have this experience, and it does not negate the experience of others. So I do just want to say, like, so many people do not have this experience, and that's okay. Everybody's pregnancy is different, and if you are not feeling good in your second trimester, that's totally normal from what I hear, but also talk to your doctor because I'm not a doctor, right? So I was, I don't know what it is like when I'm filming. He just loves to be near me. Couldn't care less about me any other time. It's just because you want to be on camera, huh? You know the people love you. You know they do. I don't even think they watch this for me. I mean, I don't blame you. I feel like almost guilty for having such a great second trimester, knowing that so many other women have it very hard. At the same time, I'm trying to enjoy it. And at the same time, I was one of those people who expected the worst. I really thought that pregnancy was going to be 9 months of me feeling like gross and not myself and like kind of sick. I thought that I was gonna have more energy, but I thought that I would just not be feeling myself. And I would say the second trimester hit and once that light switch hit, I felt more myself than I've ever felt like in my entire life, which is just so weird. I even talked to my therapist about it because I'm just like, this is the best I've ever felt, like mentally, emotionally, physically even. Like, this is my other theory, and again, I'm not a doctor, I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I feel like hormones affect different people differently, and some people do better with the hormone change, like they needed it, and some people don't do as good with it. It's just like a lot for them because, you know, it's just a hormone change. My body responded so well to it, to the point where almost anything that I felt like I dealt with before being pregnant went away. I've always had digestive, like stomach issues, like pretty much my entire adult life, like since I was 18, and so many things have like helped it, and definitely comes in waves, and I feel like stress definitely plays a part in it as well. But this was the first time in my life where I ever felt like my digestion is not consuming my everyday mind. Like I'm not constantly having to think about it. And like, sorry if that's TMI. Again, don't watch pregnancy videos if you don't like TMI things. That was part of the euphoric feeling for me, was just like feeling so good. And also my energy was just like, I literally felt like I had 3 cups of coffee every single day and didn't have that come down crash that you get from caffeine. I just felt like so energized. I'd wake up in the morning, I'd get a bunch of things done, I'd check them off my to-do list, and then Zoe's making her bed comfortable. It's constant chaos in this house. Let's add a little more. Yeah, I would feel like so energized. By the time it was bedtime, I would still feel more energized. I'm like, let's clean out the closet, let's do this. Like I just felt like this rush of energy every single day, and it was like the best feeling ever. Like I don't think I'll ever feel that again probably until I'm like pregnant again. I definitely have like waves of anxiety and depression and things like that I also, you know, talk to my therapist about all the time. This is becoming a second therapy session. And none of that, absolutely none of that. And I actually haven't had much of that my entire pregnancy. I've had like 1 or 2 days that were really bad anxiety days. But I have so much like just peace and zest for life that I don't know that I felt before, really. And it's just been a very consistent feeling, which is really, really nice. So the other thing that's like really nice about the second trimester is at this point, you've had like quite a few ultrasounds. You've gotten to, you know, probably take a few tests if that's what your doctor or midwife does. So you have a lot more information about the baby and the health of the baby and the state of the baby. So I found that I was a lot less worried about the baby and more just like enjoying growing the baby, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot of uneasiness in the first trimester of just like hoping that everything's gonna be okay. And by the second trimester, I feel like that pretty much subsided, at least in my experience, because fortunately everything's going really well with this pregnancy and this baby is happy and healthy. So that is a really nice feeling, which I feel like just makes pregnancy more enjoyable when you're not like constantly like stressed about when's my next ultrasound. I want to like hear the heartbeat. Like, you know, in the first trimester, you can't really feel the baby movements. And that's one of the things that I love about the second trimester is that's when you start to feel the baby movements. And that is like the most reassuring feeling in the world. And it's so crazy too to feel. I actually feel like I felt them pretty early. I didn't know that they were baby movements. So I was getting a prenatal massage. I was in San Francisco visiting my friends and I was getting a prenatal massage done. And I was laying on the table, and you know, you're like really in tune with your body when you're getting a massage. And I felt these little like, it felt like almost like gas bubbles like moving through your system, but nothing would come of it. Turns out it definitely was, because as you get a little bit bigger and the baby gets bigger, you start to feel like it's more prominent. And so that was definitely what it felt like for me consistently, just like little gas bubbles. Once they get bigger, then it feels a little different. But when they're just still kind of little, that's what it feels like. And it's really fun and it's really reassuring. It's such a cool thing to be able to experience. So that's like another amazing thing about the second trimester is those little baby movements. Also, I feel like the ultrasounds become more fun. I mean, I've always loved ultrasounds, and I feel like this is not the case for everybody. Like I feel like most people look at ultrasounds and they're like, I don't know what I'm seeing. It doesn't look like anything to me. But I think even before getting pregnant, I liked seeing my friends' ultrasounds and like zooming in and trying to see like the little features. Like I just think genetics are crazy and it's just fun to see. So I've always enjoyed the ultrasounds, but they get way more fun because you start to get like the more like 3D ultrasounds. So I had my anatomy scan, which is what you usually do in the second trimester. That's where they go through and they, you know, show you everything that, like every body part of the baby basically, which is really cool. And they explain like what you're looking at in the ultrasound. Sometimes it's hard to see, but you know, if you get a good sonographer, they'll explain it to you. And it's really fun just to be able to like see your baby, they actually look like a baby. They actually have features, and when you get to see that 3D or 4D ultrasound, I'm not sure which one it is, it's actually insane how detailed it is that you can see. And I feel like they turn out to be pretty, like, you know, that's what the baby looks like. Like, it's kind of crazy. I ended up Googling some, like, you know, baby out of the womb, baby in the 4D ultrasound pictures, and like that, yeah, yep, that is what they look like. Exactly. So I'm excited about that because now I'm like, oh, I got to see what the baby looks like, and now I kind of have an idea of like who I'm carrying, and gosh, I just can't wait to meet this baby. The other great thing about the second trimester, I would say, is because I had more energy to work out, which I talked about in the first trimester was just like not happening. I was just not, there was no movement happening, which is, you know, fine. So just try to survive the first trimester. In the second trimester, I felt like this burst of energy, so I was able to start working out again, which is really great. So I was doing that at least like once a week, sometimes 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how I felt and what my schedule was like. I will say, like, it gets harder, not to spoil, I don't even know if I'll make a third trimester video if people do that, but it does get harder the bigger you get, and I got big quick. I would say, like, as far as like any negative symptoms go, I would say like you definitely feel like hotter in the second trimester. But it wasn't even something I noticed. I didn't notice feeling hot or anything. It was more like I'd be cranking the AC and I'd feel so comfortable and good. And Jesse, who runs hot, I run cold, okay? Like, I'm always like in sweatshirts inside and like blankets, and he runs hot. And it's like, you know, I feel like every couple has one person that runs cold and one person that runs hot. That's how it is. So I knew that I was running hot when he was like, it's freezing in here. And I'm like, no, this is perfect. Don't touch it. Like, don't touch the AC. I feel perfect. So that's like one thing that kind of started in the second trimester. And then another thing is like my skin is just like so dry and itchy, and I feel like I hear a lot of women say the same thing. So that is definitely a thing that you will want to prepare for. I feel like that's a pretty common symptom, and just lotion and oil it on up, baby. Let's talk about cravings. I know in the last video I told you guys it was like straight up carbs, just like no vegetables, just could not even think about a vegetable, could not even look at a vegetable. Second trimester hits, and weirdly, I'm craving salads. I never enjoyed salads, really. I always felt like salads were like, okay, I'll eat a salad, I guess. Like, I guess I'll like get some greens in my body today. No, I like literally, like, my mouth salivates thinking about like a good vinaigrette salad. Like, truly nothing better. So I was just eating so many salads. And it didn't even have to be anything fancy, just like a house salad with a vinaigrette, like just a big house salad with a vinaigrette. Now I want one. Like, this craving has not gone away. It's so weird. And I know it's like people, I feel like I swear people roll their eyes when I say that, because they're like, what are your cravings? Do you have any weird cravings? And I'm like, salad with a house dressing. They're like, ew, like, you don't crave like pickles and peanut butter? I'm like, no, I literally crave salads with a good vinaigrette. Like, again, my mouth is watering thinking about it. That doesn't sound weird to most people because they probably eat that all the time. I don't eat that. Like, that is not something Hannah eats. Hannah would way rather have a grilled cheese than a salad, like, any day of the week. It's my truth, okay? I will not be shamed for it. The other thing I started craving a lot, I went through, like, I would say probably like 3 weeks where I just literally had Thai food like 2 to 3 times a week. Like, sometimes even more, probably, honestly. Like, it was like every day I was like, Thai food, Thai food, Thai food. And it's so funny because Thai food is Jesse's favorite, and I'm always like, no, I don't feel like Thai food. Like, I usually want something else. Not that I don't love Thai food, I just, like, I feel like we burned out on it, kind of. So I just like went through a phase where I was over it, and then something about the second trimester, I was like, I need Thai food every single day, and I would always get a Thai iced tea. Now I don't even like think about a Thai iced tea, but I like again, my mouth would like salivate thinking about Thai iced tea. Like I needed it. Pad See-Ew, which is like not my normal order either. I usually get like a curry or like pad Thai or pad Wusen, but Pad See-Ew was like it. Like I just wanted thick noodles, big broccoli, and a Thai iced tea. I still was craving fruit, not quite as much as the first trimester. I mean, first trimester was like insanity. But I still, in the second trimester, was like every week I'd be like, what's the fruit I'm gonna get from the grocery store? And I'd like pick out, you know, what like the seasonal fruit was. Cherries, oh my God. Like literally could eat a bag of cherries a day. Like so good. And honestly, that's not like just a pregnancy thing. I think I love cherries anyways. But really this season I was like seeking them out. They started to like, I would get them and they'd be moldy. So yeah, that was the end of my cherry saga. But this is not really like a symptom thing or a craving thing, but I did want to give like a little tidbit of advice. If I don't already have my Babymoon video out, it will be out. So we did our Babymoon. I want to say I was like 27, 28 weeks when we did the Babymoons. We went to Honolulu and stayed at Waikiki Beach specifically. Honestly, I wish we would have done a trip earlier. And this is not to say that I'm not super grateful for our trip and that I didn't have an amazing time, because I did. But I did not realize like how much things would slow down towards the end of the second trimester. I think I was just like, oh my God, I have this energy burst and I don't see it going away and it'll never go away. So I was like, I'll be fine to book a trip like in, you know, the later half of my second trimester. I would start looking at your Babymoon. I would start doing that like the second you get pregnant. By the time you're at the end of your second trimester, you are probably bigger, you're more tired, you get out of breath more, and everything's just harder. And you can't really participate in anything fun as is, so you might as well have like at least some energy to do it. And I wish I would have done it when I had energy, because then I could have been like, let's go sightsee, let's do this, let's do that. Whereas like this was a lot of like, I just want to like eat and like lay on the beach and go back to the hotel. And I mean, that's what Hawaii is like great for, right? So it was perfect for that. And Waikiki had some amazing vegan food. So stay tuned for that video if it's not already out. If it's already out, go watch it. What I ate on my vegan Babymoon. I ate good, okay. I am going to split this into 2 videos. So that is going to be it for my second trimester recap. I will post another video with all of my pregnancy recommendations. So definitely stay tuned to that. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Comment down below any symptoms that we had in common, if you've been pregnant before, or anything you've like heard from friends or things like that. I am just so fascinated by pregnancy now and like how different everybody's bodies are and how differently they react. So definitely comment down below, and I will see you guys next time in another video. Bye.